Once upon a time there was a spooky old schoolhouse called Frightington Academy. Frightington Academy was home to the strangest students you've ever seen. There were vampire students, werewolf students, ghost students, and even a few zombie students shuffling down the hallways. But the strangest thing of all was how students kept disappearing from Frightington Academy without a trace. No one knew why students kept vanishing from Frightington Academy. The teachers would take attendance each morning and realize a few more students were gone. They would search all around the creepy school grounds looking for them, but the missing students were never found. Some thought the students were just playing hooky. Others wondered if the school was cursed or haunted by an evil spirit making the children disappear. But the mystery only deepened when pets and school supplies also started vanishing into thin air. The strangest vanishing of all came right before lunch period one day. When the bell rang, the students shuffled into the gloomy school cafeteria expecting a meal of worm casserole with bat wing sauce and scream beans. But when they entered the lunchroom, all the food had disappeared. The lunch trays were empty, the pots and pans were bare. Not a morsel of food could be found in the entire cafeteria. The students' stomachs grumbled with hunger. Where had all the food gone? Panic spread through Frightington Academy after the vanishing lunchtime incident. The teachers held an emergency assembly in the school auditorium. As the ghost, vampire, werewolf, and zombie students gathered, they chattered nervously about who or what was behind these strange happenings at their school. Some thought a tricky poltergeist was causing the chaos. Others blamed the curse of a vengeful witch. The teachers had no answers except to reassure the frightened students and promise to get to the bottom of the mystery. After the assembly, the students roamed the halls of Frightington Academy feeling uneasy. They poked their heads into dark classrooms, peered down stone staircases leading into shadowy basement chambers, and wandered the school grounds searching for clues. But the deeper they delved into the mystery, the more fearful they became about being the next to disappear. By that evening, nearly half of the students and teachers had vanished. The few people remaining at Frightington Academy huddled in the teachers' lounge, which was the only room left with light. They had barricaded the doors and lit candles to keep the pressing darkness at bay. Huddled together for safety, they wondered how much longer their doomed school would last before the mystery force made them all disappear. Some wept, others scribbled goodbye letters to their families, expecting the worst. But just as all hope seemed lost, an unlikely hero emerged to save Frightington Academy. Galileo the ghost janitor slowly materialized in the teachers' lounge. The teachers and students gasped to see someone actually reappear instead of vanish. In a creaky voice, Galileo explained that he knew why the disappearances were happening, for he had witnessed the truth while unseen floating through the school's walls and passageways over many years. Galileo told them all to follow him. It was time to face the dark force trying to destroy their school. The students and teachers crept nervously through the gloomy halls behind Galileo, who glowed brightly to push back the darkness. He led them down some crumbling steps into a musty chamber beneath the school they never knew existed. The walls were lined with cobwebs and slime. Strange hissing sounds echoed in the dark. It was the lair they had been searching for. As they entered the lair, everyone gasped in shock at what they saw. A gigantic worm monster was filling the shadowy chamber, with green skin, gnashing teeth, and dozens of slimy tentacles. And wrapped in each of its tentacles was one of the missing students, teachers, or pets from Frightington Academy. The monstrous worm had pulled them all down into its lair and captured them. Everyone quaked in terror at the abominable sight. But Galileo urged them on, telling them this was their moment to be brave and confront the beast who had been terrorizing their school. Together they had to fight back, before it was too late. So the remaining students and teachers charged at the giant worm, punching and kicking its wriggling tentacles to free their captured friends and classmates. The vile worm roared angrily at the attack, thrashing its tentacles around wildly. But the students and teachers fought on with all their might. Galileo flew about the lair, untying knots and freeing prisoners from the creature's grasp. One by one the missing people slipped free until the worm had no captives left in its clutches. Finally the beast was defeated. The students, teachers, and pets of Frightington Academy cheered at their victory over the sinister force that had stolen so many of them away. They paraded triumphantly back up the steps and out of the darkness. With the evil worm vanquished, happiness and light filled Frightington Academy once more. Their frightful school was made wondrous again. The students all sat down to a celebratory feast together in the cafeteria with piles of food and laughter aplenty. Even Galileo joined in the feast, being the hero of the day. From then on, the students felt safe and enjoyed learning spooky lessons in their cleaned-out haunted school. And so the mystery was solved, the vanishing curse lifted, and all was well thanks to brave souls who stood up to a monster and saved Frightington Academy. The end.